At the same time the disciples came to Jesus, saying, "Who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven?" And Jesus called a little child to him, and set him in the midst of them, and said, "Truly I say to you, except you be converted, and become as little children, you will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. Whosoever therefore will humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven. And whoso will receive one such little child in my name receives me. But whoso will offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe to the world because of offenses, for it must needs be that offenses come, but woe to that man by whom the offense comes. Therefore if your hand or your foot offend you, cut them off, and cast them from you. It is better for you to enter into life halt or maimed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet to be cast into everlasting fire. And if your eye offend you, pluck it out, and cast it from you. It is better for you to enter into life with 1 eye, rather than having 2 eyes to be cast into hellfire. Take heed that you despise not one of these little ones, for I say to you, that in heaven their angels do always behold the face of my Father who is in heaven. For the Son of Man is come to save that what was lost. What do you think? If a man have 100 sheep, and one of them go astray, does he not leave the 99 and go to the mountains and seek the one that is lost? And if so be that he find it, truly I say to you, he rejoices more of that sheep than of the 99 that went not astray. Even so, it is not the will of your Father that is in heaven, that one of these little ones should perish. Moreover, if your brother will trespass against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone. If he will hear you, you have gained your brother. But if he will not hear you, then take with you 1 or 2 more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. And if he will neglect to hear them, tell it to the church. But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be to you as a heathen man and a publican. Truly I say to you, whatsoever you will bind on earth will be bound in heaven, and whatsoever you will loose on earth will be loosed in heaven. Again I say to you, that if 2 of you will agree on earth as touching anything that they will ask, it will be done for them of my Father who is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there I am in the midst of them. Then Peter came to him and said, Lord, how oft will my brother sin against me, and I forgive him? 7 times? Jesus said to him, I say not to you, until 7 times, but until 70 times 7. Therefore is the kingdom of heaven likened to a certain king, that would take account of his servants. And when he had begun to reckon, one was brought to him, who owed him 10,000 talents. But forasmuch as he had not to pay, his Lord commanded him to be sold, and his wife and children, and all that he had, and payment to be made. The servant therefore fell down and worshipped him, saying, Lord, have patience with me, and I will pay you all. Then the Lord of that servant was moved with compassion, and loosed him, and forgave him the debt. But the same servant went out, and found one of his fellow servants, who owed him 100 pence. And he laid hands on him, and took him by the throat, saying, Pay me what you owe. And his fellow servant fell down at his feet, and besought him, saying, Have patience with me, and I will pay you all. And he would not, but went and cast him into prison, till he should pay the debt. So when his fellow servants saw what was done, they were very sorry, and came and told to their Lord all that was done. Then his Lord, after that he had called him, said to him, O you wicked servant, I forgave you all that debt, because you desired me. Should not you also have had compassion on your fellow servant, even as I had pity on you? And his Lord was wroth, and delivered him to the tormentors, till he should pay all that was due to him. So likewise will my heavenly Father do also to you, if you from your hearts forgive not every one his brother their trespasses. And it came to pass, that when Jesus had finished these sayings, he departed from Galilee and came into the coasts of Judea beyond Jordan. And great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. The Pharisees also came to him, tempting him, and saying to him, Is it lawful for a man to put away his wife for every cause? And he answered and said to them, Have you not read that he that made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, For this cause will a man leave father and mother, and will cleave to his wife, and they twain will be one flesh. Therefore they are no more twain, but one flesh. What therefore God has joined together, let not any man put asunder. They say to him, Why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement, and to put her away? He said to them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. But from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, Whosoever will put away his wife, except it be for fornication, and will marry another, commits adultery. And whoso marries her that is put away does commit adultery. His disciples say to him, If the case of the man be so with his wife, it is not good to marry. But he said to them, All men cannot receive this saying, save they to whom it is given. For there are some eunuchs that were so born from their mother's womb, and there are some eunuchs that were made eunuchs of men, and there be eunuchs that have made themselves eunuchs for the kingdom of heaven's sake. He that is able to receive it, let him receive it. Then there were brought to him little children, that he should put his hands on them, and pray. And the disciples rebuked him. But Jesus said, Suffer little children, and forbid them not to come to me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. And he laid his hands on them, and departed from there. And behold, one came and said to him, Good master, what good thing will I do, that I may have eternal life? And he said to him, Why do you call me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if you will enter into life, keep the commandments. He said to him, Which? Jesus said, You will not murder, you will not commit adultery, you will not steal, you will not bear false witness. Honor your mother and your father, and you will love your neighbor as yourself. The young man said to him, All these things I have kept from my youth up. What do I lack yet? Jesus said to him, If you will be perfect, go and sell what you have, and give to the poor, and you will have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. And when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then said Jesus to his disciples, Truly I say to you, that a rich man will hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And again I say to you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven. When his disciples heard it, they were exceedingly amazed, saying, Who then can be saved? But Jesus beheld them, and said to them, With men this is impossible, but with God all things are possible. Then Peter answered and said to him, Behold, we have forsaken all, and followed you. What will we have therefore? And Jesus said to him, Truly I say to you, that you that have followed me, in the regeneration when the Son of Man will sit in the throne of his glory, you also will sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And every one that has forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, will receive 100-fold, and will inherit everlasting life. But many that are first will be last, and the last will be first. For the kingdom of heaven is like a man that is a householder, that went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the 3rd hour, and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said to them, Go also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right I will give you. And they went their way. Again he went out about the 6th and 9th hour, and did likewise. And about the 11th hour he went out, and found others standing idle, and said to them, Why do you stand idle here all day? They said to him, Because no man has hired us. He said to them, Go also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, that you will receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said to his steward, Call the laborers, and give them their hire, beginning from the last to the first. And when they came that were hired about the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed that they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. And when they had received it, they murmured against the good man of the house, saying, These last have wrought but 1 hour, and you have made them equal to us, that have borne the burden and heat of the day. But he answered one of them, and said, Friend, I do you no wrong. Did you not agree with me for a penny? Take what is yours and go your way. I will give to this last, even as to you. Is it not lawful for me to do what I will with my own? Is your eye evil because I am good? So the last will be first, and the first last. For many be called, but few chosen. And Jesus, going up to Jerusalem, took the 12 disciples apart in the way, and said to them, Behold, we go up to Jerusalem, and the Son of Man will be betrayed to the chief priests and to the scribes, and they will condemn him to death, and will deliver him to the Gentiles to mock, and to scourge, and to crucify him, and the 3rd day he will rise again. Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshipping him, and desiring a certain thing of him. And he said to her, What will you? She said to him, Grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one on your right hand, and the other on the left, in your kingdom. But Jesus answered and said, You know not what you ask. Are you able to drink of the cup that I will drink of, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with? They say to him, We are able. And he said to them, You will drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it will be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father. And when the 10 heard it, they were moved with indignation against the 2 brethren. But Jesus called them to him, and said, You know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. But it will not be so among you. But whosoever will be great among you, let him be your minister. And whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servant. Even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered to, but to minister, and to give his life a ransom for many. And as they departed from Jericho, a great multitude followed him. And behold, 2 blind men sitting by the wayside, when they heard that Jesus passed by, cried out, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, you Son of David. And the multitude rebuked him, because they should hold their peace. But they cried the more, saying, Have mercy on us, O Lord, you Son of David. And Jesus stood still, and called them, and said, What will you that I will do to you? They said to him, Lord, that our eyes may be opened." So Jesus had compassion on them, and touched their eyes, and immediately their eyes received sight, and they followed him.